everybody, Shansonette here, checking in with y'all. It's been about 6 or 7 days since my last video, and I just wanted to let you guys know a little bit about my progress, or lack thereof. So emotionally, when I checked in before, I was really feeling depressed. And I still am. That hasn't changed. And it's kind of odd, really, because I'm on medication for my depression and it works very well. I was not depressed for the first... I wasn't depressed before I started BBD, and I haven't been depressed until sort of middle of December, maybe end of the first week of December. And it really feels physiological, and it feels like a brain thing in a kind of a strange way. I really don't know what's going on. And I know that there's some very deep, I don't know, grief. I'm experiencing a lot of grief around my horse and not being able to see him. Just how tough last year was. I know it was tough for a lot of people, not just me. But I'm the one who experienced my experience, and I think part of it is I'm just freaking exhausted. I'm exhausted from trying to heal. I think that's part of it. So, and I know there are a lot of you guys out there with chronic illnesses of one kind or another, or physical or medical challenges. And many of you are having much worse experiences than I am. So not to make light of that at all, and not to say, oh, I'm the only one who's suffering in the world. And, gurus that I love and respect and have learned from say, in human life, pain it's mandatory, but suffering is optional. Well, not all of us are enlightened, right? I certainly don't claim to be. So I'm doing my best with that. But this last year, the battle really to keep my faith strong, and to keep my spirits high, and to be grateful while also accepting, allowing, and offering self-compassion to me, which is a work in progress for, I don't know what, being human. I've worked really hard to self-heal, I guess, and to learn how to trust my body to heal herself. And I've been with ME/CFS. I've had it for 7 years. Right around this time is when I made the mistake of going to Puerto Vallarta with a man that I knew that the relationship wasn't good for me, and I went anyway, and I'm still paying the price. I may pay the price for not listening to myself for the rest of my life, because there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee I'm going to get better. But learning to offer yourself compassion and self-love and all of that, sometimes that's really hard work. I don't know if it is for you, but for me it is. Coming from the childhood experience that I came from set me on a healing path, and the healing path is not always pretty, and it's not always fun, rarely fun. So I haven't been having a lot of fun this last little bit, and there's a lot of reasons for that, but I think mostly it's just emotional exhaustion. That said, with my barking dog, who thinks his mommy's home, Schlick, honey, please. That said, so I'm still in the same emotional space. Would you please stop? But I'm actually feeling more and more able to function physically, which is also interesting because, you know, it's not a dramatic, like it felt like it was. Day 45, I posted a video saying, geez, have my symptoms reversed? Because it felt like they had. That's my pathological optimism. It's kind of when you're like that, like me, you get your hopes up really easily and then you get them dashed really easily because you got them up. And I just refuse to get cynical. 72, I don't have a cynical bone in my body and I'm not going there now. But, so anyways, kind of blathering away here. I realized yesterday, I think, or today, I suddenly became aware that, you know, I'm done with the bed. And that's saying a lot, a lot. That in itself is miraculous, really, because I have pretty much lived on my bed since mid-July 2022 when I had a massive relapse. I was about 75% functional. I had worked my way up there. And then a whole bunch of stuff happened that, you know, was too much for the ME/CFS body and nervous system, and blam, down I went. And that program that I was in, that I was working those principles and da-da-da-da-da religiously and faithfully, didn't help at all once I was in the relapse. And I don't really know why, but it just didn't. So I have been physiologically on the bed most days, to the point where I worked on the bed. If I, you know, I had it all set up. So I had my beautiful flower pillows, which you'll see in some of my earlier videos, and a bolster, and I would lay back against that. And when I needed to work, I would have my laptop, and I had my legs elevated to help with blood flow. Pretty much bedbound. Only got out of bed if I really needed to, or walked around. And then I would have these, like, sometimes it'd be gradually over a few weeks, I would be more and more and more mobile, but the bed was still my home base, my bedroom. And just in the last few days, I realized it's not anymore. I don't want to be on there. I don't want to be in the bedroom. I don't have to be on the bed. And I'm out, like right now, I'm out in the living area, and I haven't been able to, like, sit up in my office yet. I have this great little office that I love so much. I love working from there, and I haven't been able to use that much. But I come out and sit in the granny chair with my legs up and work out here. And the last few days, I've been able to go for walks. I've gone for walks around the neighborhood 3 times in a row. And it isn't that I have this surging sense of vitality, which I did in that, you know, when I posted that other video 3 weeks ago or whatever it was. But it's more moderate. It's more like, okay, I feel like going for a walk. Well, let's put on my walking shoes and let's just go outside and see what happens. And I've been able to go all the way around the block in my neighborhood, and this block is a big, long block. I don't know how far it is. I'll have to measure it. But yeah, so I've been able to do that. I've been able to work in the late afternoon, which is unheard of. And my brain usually turns right off then. And so it's coming back. Like the way that I was feeling before the Christmas season started, it's coming back. And I've made some decisions about how I'm going to do this. One is I'm not going to be in my head all the time about it. That's one of my issues is I get in my head and I stay in my head, and then I tick off like this should happen and this should happen and why isn't this happening and what does this mean and how come, I'm on carnivore. What did I eat that's making me bloat? Well, I haven't eaten anything but meat, so why is that? And going through all of that stuff and like needing answers, thinking I should have answers, thinking I must be doing it wrong. I'm going to do my best to encourage that part of my brain to just chill. Let's just chill and let's not jump to any conclusions. Here's what's still happening. I'm still getting bloated in the afternoon. I don't know why. I've cut way back on salt. I'm hoping that's going to help. I don't have any cravings. Like that whole alcohol thing that happened. I drank a couple times. And then I was like, no, I'm not going back there. That's prison. I'm not going back there. And of course, and I didn't drink to excess. I didn't do anything stupid, but drinking is stupid, but I didn't do anything majorly stupid. It took a hot minute for that feeling of toxicity to leave my body. The other thing I did was on my daughter's birthday, which is New Year's Eve. My beautiful daughter was born on New Year's Eve. My grandson made a cake and ice cream, and we had cake and ice cream, and I ate some of that. I ate some of the cake. I don't even really like cake, but I don't know. I just did it, and I ate ice cream, and that felt really, really good to do. I suppose it was emotional eating, but it's also this I don't want to be perfect. One of the things that's hard about this for me is perfection is not good for me. Perfectionism is not good for me. And if I apply perfectionism to what I put into my body, that's going to be a problem because there's going to be a backlash. And I know that about myself already. But that said, I'm not interested in going down the carb hole. And I know that I need to, what's best for me is to be disciplined about that. So luckily I don't have emotional reactions to any other holidays. Only Christmas. The rest of them were fine with me. I was like, no big deal. I don't really care. So there won't be that temptation to emotionally eat. Because also, my body doesn't want it. My body does not want that stuff. Like I said before, we have pastries and baked goods and bagels and garlic sticks and crackers and cookies and just all kinds of crap in the house at all times. And I do not have the slightest waver around those things in general. So I know that what I'm doing is working. I know that my approach to carnivore is working. And the other thing I know is that, like, I did that birthday cake and ice cream, and within 48 hours, I was back in ketosis. So my body is, I believe, pretty well fat adapted. I did a lot of fasting in 2022, August 2022 through about, well, up until this past fall, when I decided, I kind of began to suspect that level of fasting that often and that deep was actually counterproductive for ME/CFS. I had reasons to believe that. But the good thing that happened from all that was, man, my body loves going. If I screw up and I get out of ketosis, my body's all ready to jump right back into that pool, which is really good. That's good. So, yeah. So I'm just gonna be a lot. I'm hoping to be a lot less OCD about all of this. I also have still been working on my, healing since I was 19 years old. I'm going to be 73 in April, and I still have the capacity to kind of jump into self-doubt and, oh, am I doing it right? Oh, I'm not doing it right. Da da da. And there's so much information out there that makes it really easy to do, you know. So I'm just going to keep my nose to the ground on this. One thing that did happen after I ate the cake and ice cream, so January 1st I weighed myself, or maybe January 2nd, because I knew better than to weigh myself January 1st. January 2nd I weighed myself. I haven't weighed myself since I started back at the beginning of November. And I had gained 5 pounds. I'm pretty sure that 5 pounds was the body going, what did you just put in me? Oh no! You know. So, but yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna, like, when I'm gonna weigh myself again. I do want to take off this 20 pounds. I have come to the realization that I'm not just doing this for the ME/CFS. I'm doing it because I want that 20 pounds gone. But yeah, so that's where I am. Long rambling. If you're still with me, which you probably aren't, because why would you be listening to me just ramble? I love you guys. I hope you're having had a really nice first week of the new year, and I hope this year sees your dreams come true. And keep on eating meat. Love you guys. Bye.